When your cat watches you in silence, do you actually know what that means? Yes, it can seem sweet, maybe even a little strange. You look up, and there they are, sitting in the doorway, perched on the couch, quiet, still, just watching you. But behind that simple action, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you ignore it, which most owners do, you might completely miss what your cat has been trying to tell you about safety, attention, and the way they feel about you. Let's start with what that behavior really means. Have you ever noticed your cat silently watching you while you work, fold laundry, or walk from room to room? Most people think it means nothing, or they assume their cat is bored, weird, or waiting for food. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat is tracking someone who matters. Cats do not waste calm attention on things that feel irrelevant. If your cat watches you without tension in the body, without flattened ears, without a twitching tail, that silent gaze is often a social behavior. They are keeping you inside their awareness because you are part of their emotional environment. That changes the feeling of it, because your cat is not just looking at movement, they are monitoring presence. Think about that for a second. And by the way, if your cat used to do this often and suddenly stops, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that can mean at the end, and it's something many owners wish they had understood sooner. Now let's get into the science, because here's what most people don't realize. A 2025 study from Oregon State University found that many cats form secure attachment bonds with their human caregivers. In simple terms, your cat may use you as a source of stability in the same way bonded animals use a trusted figure to feel grounded. That matters here, because when your cat quietly watches you, they may be checking in with the person who helps the room feel safe. Animal cognition research shows that cats are highly sensitive to human routine, movement, and predictability. They learn your patterns, your pace, your sounds, even your emotional rhythm. So when your cat sits nearby and watches in silence, here's what's actually happening. They may be reading the room through you. If you are calm, the space feels calmer. If you are settled, the space feels more predictable. Emotionally, that means your cat sees you as more than background. You are part of how they measure safety. That's not a small thing. That's your cat using your presence as reassurance. Have you ever noticed that your cat watches you most often from places that smell like you? Your chair, your bed, your side of the couch, the doorway near the room you use most. Most people assume that's coincidence. Here's what's actually happening. Cats live through scent as much as sight. Their world is built from invisible trails of familiarity. Your clothing, furniture, blankets, and favorite spots all carry your scent, and that scent helps your cat map where safety lives. Researchers who study feline behavior call this part of a cat's social scent environment. It is not only about territory, it is about belonging. So when your cat watches you quietly from one of your places, they may be doing two things at once: staying near your scent and keeping visual contact with you. That combination is powerful. It means your cat is surrounding themselves with signs of you without asking for touch. They are making closeness feel safe in the way cats understand best. And here's where it gets even more meaningful. Some cats do not express affection through constant contact. Some express it through silent presence, through shared air, through staying near your invisible marks while keeping you in view. So, the next time your cat watches you in silence, remember, they may already be saying, "I feel safest when I can sense where you are." And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Now let's go deeper. Why would a cat choose to watch you instead of always approaching you? Because watching is safe. In the wild, cats survive by observing first. They are both hunters and animals that must protect themselves. That means distance can feel safer than full contact, especially when they are relaxed but still alert to the world around them. Here's what's actually happening. Your cat may be choosing the oldest form of closeness they know. Stay near, stay aware, and stay ready. There may also be something from kittenhood beneath it. Young kittens learn safety by staying visually and physically close to a trusted body. As adult cats, that need does not disappear. It simply becomes quieter, more selective, more subtle. So when your cat watches you from across the room, they may be recreating an old survival comfort in a new way, not by climbing onto you, by keeping you in sight. Think about that for a second. Your cat is blending instinct with trust. They are saying, I can relax more when I know where you are. This is where most owners get it wrong. They think, well, my cat watches everything. That's true. Cats are observant. But do they watch everyone with the same softness, the same stillness, the same repeated attention? Usually not. Behavior scientists have observed that cats form selective social preferences based on predictability, tone of voice, body language, and past interactions. They do not emotionally invest in every person the same way. So if your cat quietly watches you more than other people in the home, that tells you something personal. You are not just another moving object in the room. You are someone worth monitoring because your presence matters to them. What makes this even more meaningful is that silent watching is often how reserved cats show attachment. They may not be lap cats. They may not ask for constant touch, but they keep track of the person they trust. That person may be you. The deepest part of this behavior is not that your cat is curious. It's that your cat is choosing connection without demanding anything from you. Remember earlier when I said that if your cat suddenly stops doing this, it may matter. This is what I was talking about. When your cat watches you in silence, they are offering one of the gentlest forms of feline closeness. They are not asking you to perform. They are not climbing over you. They are not forcing interaction. They are simply staying emotionally present. Here's what is actually happening. Your cat is saying, I trust this moment enough to share it with you. That is quiet love. That is quiet trust. And for a species that protects itself through caution, that kind of calm attention carries real vulnerability. Because your cat is lowering their guard just enough to rest part of their awareness on you. That's not random. That's your cat choosing to keep you close, even in silence. Now here's the part that matters. If your cat often watches you in silence and suddenly stops, pay attention. Sometimes it means nothing serious. A new routine, a new nap spot, a change in weather, more noise in the house. But sometimes a change in quiet social behavior can be one of the first signs of stress, fear, pain, or illness. Studies on domestic cats reveal that changes in social monitoring, resting location, and proximity patterns can show up before more obvious signs of discomfort. This is where most owners get it wrong. They notice only dramatic changes, but cats often whisper before they scream. So if your cat stops watching you and also seems more withdrawn, hides more, eats differently, grooms less, or becomes unusually tense, don't dismiss it. Look at the pattern. Notice what changed, and if needed, speak with your vet, because sometimes the smallest rituals tell you the biggest truths. So when your cat watches you in silence, do you actually know what that means? It means your cat is not just staring. They are keeping you in their awareness, using your presence as reassurance, and staying connected to you in one of the quietest ways a cat can. That's not emptiness. That's trust. That's attachment. And that's simple behavior. It was never small to them. And it shouldn't be small to you either.